Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Celestia Radio's Canterlot Cross-Fade. Get your bodies ready, ponies, it's time for the most profane, unadulterated, uncensored 2 hours your mind can fucking handle. Just two dudes talking news, events, music, and what the fuck ever else we can think of. Canterlot Cross-Fade, starting right now on Celestia Radio.
Dun dun, there is our fantastic intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, DJ K. Brony here, joined with none other than owner and operator of Celestia Radio, DJ Shamrock.
What is up, every pony? We're here on Canterlot Cross-Fade, where censorship can go FCC itself. We got this brand new show, and we are ready to kick it off here tonight for the premiere. Glad for those of you that are joining us here. We had some technical things we were working out before the show, and right now we've got most of them remedied for the most part, so here we are, and we are glad to have this brand new show and to be talking about pretty much anything that is news in the pony world, current events, brand new music, of course, during the show, awesome guest interviews, call-ins. It's pretty much the new flagship program for Celestia Radio, and it is going to be a great radio program for people to listen into. I dislike calling it something like a podcast because I think with Celestia Radio, one of the things that I tried to bring about in the fandom when I joined the crew back in the beginning in the summer of 2011 was to try and get a real professional-sounding radio program on the air instead of just this constant auto-DJ'd music kind of thing or podcasts, I think that there's a place for actual radio programming, and you don't see it too much because a lot of people don't know actual radio. And Kay Brony and I both have worked and do work in the actual radio broadcast field in real life. And so we've got the experience and we've got the goods, and we're here to bring it to you.
We like to share our goods with all you listeners out there tuned in. And this is kind of the new flagship. That's what we've been calling it, or at least Shamrock kind of dubbed it the new flagship show of the station. So we're going to try to keep up to that. Of course, it's typical Celestia Radio fashion, though. We were plagued by some technical difficulties at the beginning of the show. We were trying to set up Shamrock's system of DJing here. We had a little bit of technical difficulty with that. As soon as I took over the stream, we believe we figured out what was wrong, just because that's how this works. You always find out as soon as it's too late. That's just how radio works. Whether it be
It's
pony
true.
radio, whether it's commercial, whether it's public, whether it's freaking fat trucker guy talking on his ham radio. They're all the same principle. With that, we kind of dedicated this beginning part of the show here, because since this is the premiere, we're going to kind of give a general layout of what you can expect and how this show generally came to be. So I guess we could start out with, the conceivement of the show in general briefly. And the idea, I guess it sprouted from me being tired and not able to do EVS. And that's a whole other sad story that we've already covered and already wrapped up. So I approached DJ Shamrock a few weeks ago. Do you even remember the day, Sham? I don't.
It was a week or two ago-ish, in that general area. I think the main thing was I hadn't been online for 2 or 3 weeks because I just moved into this new apartment I have in Lenexa. And, you were like, hey, I'm back from, Boise State, all this shit going on. I was like, hey, I just kind of started getting back into Skype, even though I really kind of didn't want to. And I was enjoying my free time, and you were like, hey, yeah, so these events we've got coming up, and then, oh, yeah, also, let's do a radio show.
Just because I was, fucking crazy enough. It's
Yeah.
been busy. It's been busy for DJK. I can tell you that much.
It has. It's been crazy busy.
It's gonna be better for 3 days, and then we get to start planning for our next big event, which is like the biggest event of big events.
The biggest of events.
That's gonna be just the joy.
Yeah. and then right after that, we've got Midwest Brony Fest, and then I've got BronyCon right after that. So it's, oh man,
it's so many things.
A lot of things.
It's a lot of things, just
it's
all
true.
jumbled up in the one giant thing. So I guess the next thing on the topic here would be to kind of give folks a general outline, far more detailed and less vague than what I gave them when we actually did the announcement of the show. And that's kind of giving a rundown of how this show, how they can expect that it's going to run like a radio show, legitimately. And in case folks aren't really familiar with what a radio show is or haven't listened to the radio in some years now, then we can kind of give them a refresher as to what they might expect here on Canterlot Cross-Fade.
Right. And basically, I guess, one of the simplest ways to say it is that it's going to be a varietous mix of different programming elements. So when I say that, I mean it's going to have music in it, like you would expect from a DJ program, something like that. We will be featuring new songs, current from that week, songs we pick out that we say, hey, this is a pretty good, up-and-coming artist, up-and-coming song for this week. Those will be featured. We'll have talk show portions, elements to it, some that people might have come to know from podcast perspective, roundtable type stuff. I know Bronyville's a great example of a very long-running podcast that's been very successful. So there will be topics, talk portions. We'll also have, listener feedback in the form of call-ins during the show, the second half of the program. We'll have interviews some weeks instead of that, and we'll have quick news-running segments. I believe the news segments and the weather segments are what really are going to separate this program from a lot of what people see. A quick 10-minute at the top of the second hour of the program will have this quick 10-minute news coverage of this week in Bronydom. Little snippets, different stories of highlights of things that you'll want to keep up on and want to know. So consider it your when you go to Equestria Daily and you would go to the the wrap up of the evening. Consider it that only for the week and in an audio form in less than 10 minutes. And like I said, we'll also have a weather break at during the program. That's more of a fun thing that we do here on CR. I did it back when I first started the radio program at the beginning of CR's history, and it was a fun thing, and people enjoyed it. So we're going to continue doing that. And yeah, so that's pretty much how the program's going to run. And then at the end, of course, we'll give a nice little recap and a looking forward to what the next week's episode will bring, and interviews and all that kind of good stuff.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Shamrock. Actually, it's great that you say that, because I'm kind of surfing through the last few sites, rounding up the last current updates of news. Of course, we have stuff from the past week or so, but I want to make sure we're as completely up to date for this show as we can be. Waiting for these next kind of folks, hopefully more listeners, to filter in as the beginning of the show starts here.
Yes, and by all means, everybody, tell your friends, spread out to the social media sites. This is really one of those things that we want to give people a chance to listen in on and understand what the program's like. I know a lot of the time people, they're not sure about that new show around the block. They're not sure about, they may not even know of it. They may not have heard of it. The outreach that we have is only so large. And so a lot of times the best way for people to hear about a program and get excited about it is from word of mouth. So if you enjoy the show, if you like it, and you want to help bring more people into it to, listen in, you like the ideas that are expressed, you like the format, tell your friends, get them to join in, and tell them it's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to be in the evenings every Sunday night, and it is going to run every Sunday night. And again, that's 7 p.m. for Easterners, and I believe at midnight for those of you in GMT time over in Europe. So that gives a little bit of a postmark of what people can expect for the times run. And it'll be a 2-hour program every week. So chock full of super awesome stuff.
So super awesome. I can't even describe it. All right. So I'm still rounding up news here because there's apparently a lot of stuff that happened in the past hour for some reason. But it's the Brony fandom. What can you really expect? We're fucking crazy. We just always are doing stuff. That's just the best way that you can explain it, I guess.
That's how we are, man.
So I guess this could be a good time to start maybe leading towards introducing the main topic that we're going to be talking about for the vast majority of the show. That we will also be taking listener call-ins discussing for the later end of the show. If you could kind of start getting into that.
Okay. Well, basically, the show today, what we wanted to, we were thinking a lot about what do we want to do for our very first show. And, there were a lot of topics that we, kind of had to choose from, but we decided on one in particular that is current and that I think really brings a good strong foundation to the show, in that we don't want to focus on any little nitpicky things too much. So today's show, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be focusing on Hasbro as the company itself in a lot of different ways. They recently had a press release talking about a lot of the different things that they're going to be doing now over the summer, going into next season as we introduce season 4. Now with the coming of the Equestria Girls movie just came out, and a lot of their marketing and stuff that they're creating and all that kind of jazz. And because it's not a lot that we get to focus too much on Hasbro itself and what they're doing and how they see us as a fandom and react to us and react to all the different things that are going on. We often get caught up in the little moments and, this little thing that happened and that little thing that happened. And we lose sight a bit of, the grander scheme of things, the larger picture. And so I think it's good that with this first episode, we're going to try and focus a lot more on that and, just try and bring reason to the chaos. Some people don't understand a lot of these things that Hasbro does, why they're doing it. And so it's our job to, try and interpret all that stuff, make sense of it, and then to bring it to you guys and say, here's exactly what Hasbro is trying to say. Here's what they're trying to do. And hopefully, give people a little more confidence in what's going on. Because I know sometimes when Hasbro says this stuff, people are like, oh, what does it mean? And then, they start freaking out and chaos ensues and spaghetti everywhere. And, so it's important that we try and do our job and and interpret that stuff and bring it to people in a format that they'll understand.
It's like explaining that Hasbro is not the equivalent of the fandom's big brother. The Ministry of Love here trying to take over the place. That Hasbro, it's a company. We gotta treat it such, and sometimes we kind of stray away, build up our expectations too high, and then sometimes equally we lower our expectations too much, because as consumers, we can expect certain things of the company that's providing for the livelihood of the fandom, more or less, that we're pretty self-sustaining at this point. But if they were to suddenly cancel the show, it's hard to say. It's hard telling what would happen. There would definitely be a shift. I don't think the fandom would ever die, but it would probably fizzle, slowly but surely, into a small, tight-knit group of people, like the people that still really love Powder Puff Girls and that kind of stuff. And QCOM.
Right.
love you, QCOM. Because, if you can look at QCOM, you can take QCOM as an example, as someone who's been in a fandom for a whole lot of years. He's like the oldest one that works at Celestia Radio. He's been in that fandom longer than I've been alive. I can probably say that. So that's impressive, QCOM. I'll hand it to that one. As Brian Page describes it here, the fandom would be an unstable nuke.
Unstable nuke.
It'll never truly. It's got a half-life. that it's just going to exponentially cut itself in half as time goes on, but it'll never be completely gone. There might be the point that it'll just be apple cider and Chef Sandy, and then it'll get cut in half again, and it'll just be half of Chef Sandy that's left in the fandom.
I don't know about that. I know cider and I know Sandy, and I'm not sure they want to be known as the people who were the last ones in the fandom. I'm pretty sure that they want to be known as the people that got the hell out before shit actually hit the fan. Now, Derpy Squad, I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think he could care less. He's like, I will be here until the end of time. So, you know.
Well, that's Derpy Squad's freaking MO. I mean, Derpy Hooves has been around longer than bronies have. I swear.
Yeah.
It seems like that sometimes.
He's like a god. He's just been here, you know, for so long. Everybody just forgets, and they're like, okay.
I recovered a lot of wisdom from that man while we were at Las Pegasus Unicon. I'm like, Derpy Squad, the Warden. Honestly, for the first 2 months that we were in that LPU chat, I thought the Warden was Sandy, the head of the con.
That's too funny.
I'm like, I like this chick. She's pretty go with the flow. And then I'm like, oh, that's not Sandy.
Oh, wait.
That's Derpy Squad, who runs Derpy Hooves News. No wonder. He seems like a go with the flow individual. It all makes sense now.
Good grief. Okay, I think I've got all my oh, God. Oh, wait.
Well,
okay.
With this...
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and throw us into the first.
We're going to go ahead and swing into our first commercial break here, folks. We got plenty more Canterlot Cross-Fade, the premiere, coming. Of course, don't forget to spread the news about this premiere. We had some stream troubles earlier, so the listener count's a little low from the get-go, but I believe that we can get this back up with your help. So get out on your Twitters, on your Facebooks, on your Tumblrs, on your Reddits, on if anyone even fucking digs anymore, then go dig away. That sounds excellent. But that's just basically what we're asking you right now for the time being. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get into some ads and some other stuff of the like into a quick music break. Like we said, we're going to showcase some of the newer upcoming songs that have been coming up through the fandom so far, so you can look forward to that as well. And CCF coming right back at you here on Her Majesty's Finest Celestia Radio.
Good evening, Phillies and Gentle Colts. Thank you for joining us. On the pedestal tonight, we have Big Macintosh and Fluttershy. All right, first question. Do you support the Apple Cider for All Ponies Act? We'll start with Big Mac.
Yep.
Oh, but Big Macintosh, don't you think that might hurt Sweet Apple Acres' gross income?
Next question. Are you pro-Griffin immigration?
Nope.
Well, I mean, sure. If they're not as mean as
Final question. What would you do to improve CPR, Celestia Public Radio?
Oh, well...
I think this site could rightly use some spiffing up. Graphic artists, web designers, and the like.
Mac is right. Celestia Radio is currently looking for new team members trained in art, website, and video design and editing. Knowledge in t-shirt printing, crafts, and so on are needed. More information can be found on the Celestia Radio homepage at ponify.me. And so that concludes our debate. Good night, every pony.
Hey there, Brony. Run out of space on your hard drive? Too much Rule 34 to rarity taking up all your precious memory? Well, fear not, because we've got a solution. Dash drives. Flash drives with your favorite pony engraved on the side. That's right. Now you can take your waifu anywhere, along with 64 gigabytes of memory. That's a lot of clop fiction. With 210 possible color combinations, dozens of graphics to choose from, and 2 lines of engraved personal text, your dash drive will be your very own. All you have to do is go to dashdrives.com and place an order. You'll be sporting some excellent flash drive pony swag in no time. Dash drives. File storage just got 20% cooler.
You're listening to Celestia Radio, all pony, all the time.
my heart's been skipping a beat, maybe. So right now you're weak, but you'll be strong. I know a place where you belong. I'll be there when you need me, and I'll be there when you call. Yeah, I'll be there to catch you when you fall. Oh, that I'll never leave you out here on your own. I'll be the lights that guide you home. I don't know if you want me or if you care, but even if you don't, I'll be there. 'Cause when I'm beside you, my soul burns bright. Let me be the one, let me be your light.
You've had problems, we could solve them, we could make it through, tried and true. Could fight them all forever, we can make it through a brighter day. Anyway, getting by another way. So I guess I'm trying to say, wanna be the lights guiding you through the night. When things get dark, when you don't know what's right, I wanna hold your hand, tell you that you can. So don't worry, it's gonna be alright.
I'll be there when you need me, and I'll be there when you call. Yeah, I'll be there to catch you when you fall. Oh, that I'll never leave you out here on your own. I'll be the lights that guide you home.
And welcome back, every pony. This is Canterlot Cross-Fade, and hope you are enjoying the show so far. Just giving you guys a good listen to some of the new music from this week. Which one do we have? Just now, we've got one that we just played, and we've got another one that we have later on in the program. KB.
Sounds like they might be hearing something later, or something different. There,
Something different later.
Oh, they're hearing us. Whatever. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay. Oh, it sounds fine to me, so sorry, Shamrock. Go back to whatever you were saying.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes we have some people have issues with the stream, and basically at those points, you just got to restart it, or you have to use a different media player, that kind of thing. So those things happen, but that's life. Those types of technical things we cannot do anything about. But yeah, so our topic today, we're talking about Hasbro. We're talking about their business plans for the summer, leading on into Season 4 of Ponies. Obviously, EQG just came out. Equestria Girls, for those of you that don't know, came out about a week ago. It had its second big weekend this last weekend. We're not going to go into detail about the show, one, because KB hasn't seen it yet, and two, because that topic has been talked to death the last month or two. People trying to give their predictions on the show, and lots of stuff like that. So perhaps another day we'll talk about the show in its entirety and how it definitely came out much differently from what the fandom expected. But I know we do have a rundown of subtopics here as far as what's been going on.
Well, really quick, we can just go ahead and this is the official. This is straight from the press release that Hasbro released from their headquarters in none other than, this is ironic, Las Vegas, Nevada. But this is straight out of their, I guess what you could say, newsletter. Las Vegas Business Wire, Hasbro Incorporated, NASDAQ, HAS, today announced that its global licensing program supporting the popular My Little Pony brand will touch every major category, immersing girls in entertaining, inventive, stylish, and fun My Little Pony lifestyle experiences inspired by the widely appealing My Little Pony Friendship is Magic animated television series. Licensed merchandise from publishing to digital gaming, plush, and fashion and beauty is set to arrive at retail throughout 2013, which brings us wonderfully to a whole bunch of different products that they are already making, getting ready to make, or are already beloved in the bronies' hearts, being sold to Hot Topic and other places, such as the sort. So now at this point, we're gonna go ahead and discuss with each of you what is being made by Hasbro, what exactly is happening in its production, what our opinions are on the matter are, and probably why Hasbro's doing it in the first place. We're going to try to put on our best kind of inspector caps here and figure out why Hasbro does what it does, and whether or not they're doing a good job, or whether they are fucking everything up. So that's kind of what our goal is here today, Shamrock.
Yes, absolutely. And the first one we've got up on here, Toy Wiz, I believe.
As I like
for
to
those
say.
Let's see. For those of you that didn't see, we've got these the Equestria Girls toys. Essentially, Hasbro has went ahead and branded out these to Toy Wiz for that design. Now, I know there's a lot of people at first that were kind of really upset. They're like, oh no, now they're gonna start making toys for Equestria Girls, and it's gonna become its own TV series. It's gonna take over, all this stuff. Eventually, ponies will be forgotten about, and it will all be Equestria Girls. But I could say fairly well that those fears are misplaced. I myself, having seen the movie, and for those that have seen it, I can fairly well promise that something like that is not going to happen. I think Hasbro is just doing the normal, typical thing, and they are trying to make some merchandise money off of their new big movie that they just released. And they're going to try and write out that movie for that. Other movies do it too, and they don't necessarily make TV series off of it, or the things of that nature. So I don't think people have anything to fear as far as these dolls come from. They retail for $25.99 in the United States, and they're available for pre-order now. You can get them at toywiz.com. That's TOYWIZ.com. They do have all the main six there on the site, and that is their sort of the anthrofied sort of form of the Equestria Girls. So not the full-on human. They've got the ears and
that is anthro right there.
It's super. It's
there.
It's there. It's probably from a scale of human to furry, it's probably like 70% in that range. So on the furry side of things. So for those of you that are interested in that, again, that's toywiz.com.
And you know what, Shamrock? Let's take a little bit of a closer look at these. And what seems appropriate is let's go ahead and each of us pick our favorite pony here. You take a closer examination of the Rainbow Dash, without the Twilight one, just for the sake of the stream. And
okay.
we'll see what we can deduce here. The interesting thing I noticed right off the bat is that they put the pony version of her pretty fucking plain and clear right on the box. So right from the get-go, they want kids to make that connection. You can tell that, right? Bam, 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 Twilight, pony. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? To the right of it. Oh god. Oh wait, that's an Equestria Girl. And it comes with the DVD. And allow me to zoom in here. That's just what I could deduce without even zooming in on her wonderful thighs here. It's perfectly symmetrical down to her calves, thighs, just as all dolls so beautifully appear. But let's see what we're looking at. It's buy safe, inspected, and monitored guaranteed, so they're trying to appeal with the bronies probably there. Like, they're going to try to make these some sort of collectible fun item. My money's not on that, but the hardcore guys out there, if you want to collect Equestria Girl dolls, I am not going to tell you not to. By all means, that is your prerogative. Go for it.
And I notice here on the Rainbow Dash one that I'm looking at, they have a kind of I enjoy the design of the box itself. It's got that sort of Toy Wiz has put that design on there that we're so used to seeing when we go to like Hot Topic or places like that. It's got that sort of vibrant box design that we're used to. Not quite what you're used to seeing at some places like maybe at Toys R Us or like Walmart or Target or some places like that, where you see a little more of the dull and drab classical Hasbro design. This is a little more of the pumped up design, and it's got the real vibrant colors in the bottom corner. Of course, you can see the Hasbro logo. It's like you said, it's got the pony right on there. They're listing these for ages 5 and plus, so that does say something to the fact that the demographic is at least needs to be age 5 or above for these toys.
And they're including us. We are in the plus. That's just they're not.
We are.
That's business sense right there, folks. As a corporation, you can't put a cap on your consumers or your target. What you're trying to sell to. That's big fancy words for. If you say 5 to 10, all those 11-year-olds are gonna be pretty fucking pissed. That's
I know, when I was like, 15 or whatever, and I'd see a board game and it would be like ages 5 to 12, and I'd be like, well, fuck that. I really want to play that board game, but I'm like, oh, I'm not going to play that board game now because I look like some, fucking like little kid or something. If I tried to play and it's at ages 12, they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing with that 5 to 12 bullshit? I'd be like, well, But I notice on here, the first thing that kind of plagues me in my head, I'm looking at the Rainbow Dash one right now, and actually, I can't tell if it's just wrapped up really well, but the red and yellow in her hair is really obvious, and I see it almost looks like 80% of her hair is red and yellow. That bugs me just a little bit, but what bugs me even more than that is the fact that now, not to get into spoiler territory, but her wings are normal in the movie, and her wings here in the box are like some demented form of those ones that Rarity gets in the Rain Boom episode, the Sonic Rain Boom episode. They almost look like they're made out of glass or something. They definitely do not look like the regular pony wings. They look like very glittered up Equestria Girl style wings.
That's just the way you can describe it. It's Equestria Girl.
It really is. It really is hard to explain. Her boots have her cutie mark on them, and she's got the nice like big tube stock rainbow style things going on, which is cool. I gotta say though, from the difference from the movie to this, she's much more glamorized on this. She definitely keeps her tomboyish sense in the movie, but they've dolled her up quite a bit, no pun intended, for this shot. So
the Rarity one caught my eye while I was surfing through here, and the only reason so is, it's weird that they're all the color of their coats. And you would think that of all of them, the one that would end up with the one with the white coat that would end up with the white skin would end up looking, from what you would imagine, the most, I don't know, normal as far as a human being is concerned, rather than orange, or unless you're from Jersey, but that's a whole different story. But right. Looking at Rarity, she's one of the more creepy individuals, and I think it's half the makeup on the eyes. There is no nose, it looks like. Very tiny mouth, and I'm just looking at it, and it's like a blend of Lady Gaga getting blended with Cher a little bit, and then that person decided to pick up methamphetamine. That's kind of what I'm getting a good solid look at here with the Rarity Equestria Girl. And that's not meant to turn you away by any mean, but that's the kind of doll that you want to take a look at. That by all means you go and pick up that doll. But it does have the warning at the bottom for the choking hazard, and you got to be 5 or older. So just keep that in mind when you're out purchasing your Equestria Girl.
Yeah. Now looking at some other dolls. Now, I searched this hell of a website onto the next website, fashionangels.com. Okay, they say that they're going to have some dolls made by then. Did we actually end up even finding any reference to those on that website, or are they not yet?
Are you? Oh, Fashion Angels. Yes.
Right, do they not yet have images? Are they just announcing that they were going into production?
Well, you know what? This is a good time because I just opened up Fashion Angels, and the first thing that caught my eye is a big old fat Mattel logo. And while Fashion Angels overall is probably a intercorporational brand that they don't give a crap, they're just selling toys. That is an interesting notion that this is not solely Hasbro. But, oh my god, everything... Holy shit! Okay, sorry, this is just a little incredible. Its hand on this little pen is moving and making sparkle noises with me, so... that captures even my short attention span, so this website already is getting an A+ from me.
If you want to see the craziness that is this website, just go to fashionangels.com. It is spelled exactly the way it sounds. But apparently Hasbro is going to be selling some toys through them. They sell Barbie and Monster High and Hot Wheels. So
that's all I'm seeing, literally. I'm seeing
Fashion
Angels, Barbie, and fucking Hot Wheels. Like,
it's just like, I don't know where they come in with Hot Wheels for Fashion Angels, to be honest. But at least they have that one little area. I guess they were like, well, we got to cover the male demographic somehow, and they were like, oh, let's reach out to Hot Wheels and put that on Fashion Angels. But
that's the lawsuit protector right there.
Yeah. But I don't think they have actual any products from Hasbro listed on there. But it was announced that they would be going to them for some manner of dolls in the future. So we won't talk about them really for too long. One thing I did find interesting was this thing that we saw from Origin.
Origin. Oh my! Do you like my show notes there, Shamrock?
I'm reading your notes right now on this link, and I almost read that on air. I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not right." For those of you that are wondering, we're looking at the Origel toothpaste that Hasbro's selling, and KB has here in the notes, Origel Pinky Paste comes with anal stimulant. I mean electronic toothbrush, and it apparently was what did they say, number 2 most sold.
Number 1, I think. I think it is the most popular.
Was it number 1?
There was something that was number. Wait,
no. That's for the other thing. This one was number 2.
This is yes. This is number 2.
Number 2 most sold, or at least most popular child brand toothpaste.
It's the second best rated pink pony flavored gel that you can squirt in your mouth.
Yeah, all that pink jelly goodness, all up in your mouth, cleaning your teeth, and it's it's not really that big of a deal. It's like, okay, you just cornered the childhood toothbrushing market. I'm sure you'll get a lot of money.
They have the whole entire pediatric dental area fucking covered.
They got a monopoly on it. They got a monopoly on it now.
Suck my balls, Mattel.
Exactly. It's
Mattel. God, no Origel.
Oh God. But yeah, so just a little interesting fact that they came out and released and said, and they're obviously pretty proud of it. And they also had was this other Toy Wiz one, the one that I threw on there? Or no, the legit plushies one down the way. Did you take out the?
I didn't.
No, I see the Build-A-Bear one. You didn't throw that Toy Wiz one in there? Maybe that was me. Yeah, we'll just take that one out. One thing that was really cool is that they announced recently that the Build-A-Bears that Hasbro had, the Rainbow Dash one and the Pinkie Pie one, are the only two that have been out so far under the Build-A-Bear project. And Build-A-Bear's been around for a while.
I went to Build-A-Bear. It's in my time.
Yeah,
and I'm a younger guy. I know that, but
it's like before. It's like before my time. Like they've been around. You know,
they've
been
built
around the block.
A fuck ton of bears. They have seen some shit and built some shit. They've been around the mall a few times.
Yeah, that's creepy. But I'm just imagining now, just like fucking pedo bear dolls, just like crawling around the mall at night. Things are closed off. There's a security guard trying to walk around. They just come up and start fucking raping that guy. Like Jesus Christ, these fucking dolls are crazy. But the Rainbow Dash and the Pinkie Pie ones have not been out for that long. I think we established, and again, I didn't check fact this, so I'm going to pull a Fox News on this one and say it was somewhere between 3 and 6 months ago that they started releasing these, I want to say.
And I'll pull an NPR and just willingly agree with that.
And, but they've already become the most sold line in the Build-A-Bear project history of Build-A-Bear dolls. And you have to think about that for a second. No matter how popular ponies might be, okay? No matter how popular they might be, you have to understand, within like 3 to 6 months,
bronies alone cannot change the company's outlook.
We're not that powerful, okay? In 3 to 6 months, it became the #1 most sold line in Build-A-Bear history, okay? Build-A-Bear has been around for at least 20 to 30 years, and within 3 to 6 months, 2 dolls became the most popularly sold line in that company's history. That's pretty fucking intense, is all I gotta say.
So, you get a Celestia Radio, Canterlot Cross-Fade, official golf clap. We'll make that
official, yes.
Yes.
Official golf clap. Snide comment. I don't know. I think that's pretty legit.
It's super legit, I would have to say. So congratulations to Build-A-Bear. I haven't built a bear in quite some time.
I'm sure most of the bronies have not built a bear.
As we all know, I live in bumfuck, so I'm quite a ways from any location, any premise where one may go about manufacturing one of these bears. And so it's very difficult for me to go out to one of these places. So in my youth, when I found one, it was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I managed to find a Build-A-Bear. And I actually built myself a raccoon. And I named it Rocky, after the Beatles song, Rocky Raccoon. Because even at like the age of 7, I was still into the Beatles. I was into the Beatles and shit. Because, you know,
there you go.
Fuck yeah. Rock and roll. Rawr. But that's a whole nother story. So let's just go ahead and move on to our next product here. Our next thing that Hasbro's trying to shove down our throats. Or maybe not. I don't know. Actually, I think this next thing on the list we want them to shove down our throats.
Yeah.
And I'm sure bronies would love to shove other things into them just as likely. But let's actually describe what they are.
This isn't Cavalcade. All right. No, I'm kidding. I don't give a shit.
I was getting ready to say it like I just got shut down by Shamrock. What?
As an addendum on the previous product, I almost nearly forgot. They will be releasing a Twilight Build-A-Bear. That's coming this summer, I want to say. They'll be coming out with a Twilight Build-A-Bear. I'm fairly certain.
They have to be, and it has to have wings. That's just the order of operations here.
See, I'm not even sure if that's going to be a thing. Actually, we'll have to see. On that note, the next product we have are some legit plushies. A lot of you may be familiar with them. Four dimension. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
Dimension.
Hang on.
Fourth Dimension
Yes.
Entertainment.
Yes.
4DE.
4D. 4DE. Fourth Dimension Entertainment.
You can all just kind of blend that into one word. 4D.
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 They're coming out with these pretty legit plushes, and actually, they were for pre-order. I believe they're actually on sale now. I believe that they're actually released.
No, it still says pre-sale in giant asterisks.
It says that, but it also says in stock availability now, where it used to say pre-order only.
Ooh.
So I think they're phasing over. I think they're getting ready to start selling them. It says
we're in
that
that transitional period right now.
Yeah, I think we're in the transitionary period. It says they're going to start shipping them in late June, and it is in fact late June. So for those of you that pre-ordered these toys, again, this website is 4DE.com.
I'll copy pasta.
4DeltaEcho.com. And
or Delta Echo. You read my Major Niner.
You can look at these and check them out. They're about 10.5 inches tall. Plushes. They are pretty legit. Some people have equated the quality to looking a lot like White Dove, for those of you that are familiar with White Dove Creations.
And one of those would probably cost you around $300 to $600.
Exactly. And these plushes are on sale for $24.95. This is like what people have been waiting for from Hasbro. A very affordable, very well done, and show level, quality like design plushes. I'm looking at the Twilight one right now. They have Twilight that they're selling, and the other one that they were was it Pinkie Pie?
It might be Pinkie, I want to say.
Let me just do this real quick.
Well, while you look for that, an interesting sentiment that I'm curious about as far as these plushies are concerned is I wonder how long Hasbro's been working with 4DE at this given juncture. Because, a while back, probably a year, it's been that long, but the fandom that, Hasbro started kind of breathing down White Dove's neck, saying, and then eventually the cease and desist kind of went out with a lot of the plushie makers, at least the good ones. So I'm wondering if there's any correlation here between when they started talking with these, the plushie makers to actually get this product out, and when they started shutting down a lot of the fan-made artists, because it could either be a case that they were doing it strategically and they knew that they were going to have a product out eventually, or it could very well just be, the kind of go-to that we're used to, Hasbro being total assholes and just fucking with us because they can. And either option is equally as plausible in my opinion, and each are readily credible. But we'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. And I did find Pinkie is the other one that they're selling at the moment. And again, you can get these all pre-ordered. Pinkie Pie says that one's going to be sold somewhere between late August and early September is when they're going to start shipping that. And they did announce that they were in development of Fluttershy, and I want to say Rarity for the next two. And that they should be having those published on the website by the end of the summer or the middle of the summer. And so, unfortunately for us Rainbow Dash fans, it's going to be a while. But they are making all 6, so don't fret there. It's not going to be one of those things where you're like, oh man, they're I can remember when those first plushes came out at Walmart, and they only had the Twilight and the Pinkie Pie. And it was really infuriating for a while because those were the only two that they ever sold.
And they were the totally creepy ones too, with the string hair.
Yeah. Oh.
I remember one of the most vivid memories I have of those plushies that will ever be freaking ingrained in my brain. Probably comes from Brony Fanfare. There was that one interesting individual that had that one on him on his person at all times. It was a Twilight plushie, and then I was literally DJing up there. It was probably 1 a.m. at this point because they were not letting me into Shamrock's party because they were being assholes at this point. It would happen later. But he just comes up to me and he goes, "I must dance. Watch Twilight." Hands it to me, and I go, "Oh, shit." And I don't fucking know what happened to that plushie. I left it on that table and was like, not my problem. Left, and I hope Dancing Man found it. But he was fucking creepy, and I kind of hope he didn't.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
a douche. Like that.
Just a douche.
Just a douche.
But I am noticing on these, like literally, this is what people have been waiting for as far as plushes are concerned. I would definitely encourage anyone who would even think about getting a plush to pre-order these now. And the reason being is because, one, they don't have shitty string hair, first of all, which is what you see from a lot of plush makers. Or if you try and get it from Walmart, again, that's still pretty shit quality.
Shit tier.
You don't even have to zoom in on this picture. Like, as soon as you look at it, you're like, holy shit, that is pro. And, and again, they are 10.5 inches tall. It's not, it's not like fits in your hand, size. They're decent size. They're not fucking ginormous. But you'd have to, let's not get our hopes up that much. That'll happen. You can actually compare deals that are on like eBay and Target for different blushes while you're looking at these ones on their website. And they have a $300 one selling on eBay right now that actually looks either the same quality or almost less quality than this $25 one that's being sold. And you also see two plushes on here. Like, if you jump on the Pinkie Pie page with me, there are two plushes on here for over $30 that look fucking horrid. That just, like, one of them looks worse than the Walmart one. And the other one, I'm pretty sure, is from Generation 2. I have no fucking idea of MLP.
Fucking Generation Pi 3.14.
I can't even look, like it hurts my head to even look at this thing. And, it's just, I can't even, to be honest. So this is going to revolutionize the market for plushes. And I think, at least for plush makers, only do means.
I think people want to see a link of this terrible thing.
Well, I'll link in the chat the main product link. And basically, all you have to do is, on that page, underneath it, it'll have this little, it'll have like pictures, and you just hold your mouse over it, and it'll open up a little window, and you can look at different things from eBay. But yeah, so this is gonna make it difficult for some plush makers to, if they only do the main 6 and they don't do custom orders, it's gonna make it difficult for them to sell more. I think this is gonna definitely drive more market Hasbro's direction.
Well, let's see with that. It's time to swing into another commercial break here. So without further ado, we're going to get ready for that. Coming up, we have our news and weather segments. This is kind of a new fun addition to anything that we've seen at Celestia Radio for quite a while now. So hopefully you were as ecstatic for those upcoming bulletins as we are. Then we're going to have another quick commercial break and music break after that before we get into the realm of call-ins. If you were interested in calling in later, you're going to want to add DJ Shamrock on Skype. He's going to be manually kind of adding everybody into the call and monitoring the flow of individuals into this call to make sure it doesn't get a little bit too crazy. So, don't go anywhere. You were tuned into Canterlot Cross-Fade CCF, where censorship can go FCC itself. And we're going to be right back here with more craziness and table flipping action here on Her Majesty's finest Celestia Radio.
Want to deliver mail fast and safe? Try the Derpy Hooves Postal Service. Derpy personally handles each piece of mail like a child and will deliver it immediately. Unlike the Equestrian Postal Service, Derpy delivers mail every day of the week. Every pony loves Derpy's Postal Service. Just listen to these testimonials.
I don't know how, but my mail got to where it needed to go. And I got a muffin.
Droopy doesn't seem like the brightest pony in Equestria, but she is fast, and she gives us all muffins, which is cool too.
Well, the eyes are a very noticeable feature of Derpy, but she is extremely fast. My mail got to Canterlot from Ponyville in one day, and I got a muffin. What is it with that pony and muffins?
So instead of using equestrian postal service, try Derpy Hooves, where your mail matters. Do you want to have a night on the town, but need someone to watch your precious little animals? Look no further than Fluttershy's Take Care. Fluttershy will watch your animals with more care than a mother would watch her child. She makes sure each one is fed, bathed, and asleep. Fluttershy offers overnight service or hourly service, and out of love for all animals, she will do it for free. Just listen to these testimonials.
My little bunny was safe and sound all day. Fluttershy is such a nice pony.
My little kitty loved it. She was well rested and fed when I came to pick her up.
I love Fluttershy. She makes sure my precious puppy gets whatever he needs. She's a very kind pony.
So why wait? Bring your little animal down to Fluttershy's Animal Daycare next time you want a night on the town.
Hello, mares. Look at your stallion. Now back to me. Back to your stallion. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But he could smell like me if he stopped using mare-scented body wash and switched to apple spice. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're in an orchard with a stallion your stallion could smell like. What's in your hoof? Back to me. I have it. It's 2 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala. Look again. The tickets are now diamonds. Anything is possible when your stallion smells like apple spice and not a mare. I'm a horse.
Hi, Jeff Burgess here. I'm in a bit of a sword fight at the moment, but I wanted to let you know that you're listening to the greatest radio stream on the high seas, Celestia Radio. You can listen to it anywhere, 24 hours a day, even if you're on a pirate ship during a sword fight. Yarr!
Alrighty, DJ K. Baroni here, and you were tuned into none other than Canterlot Cross-Fade, where censorship can go FCC itself, here on Celestia Radio, all pony, all the time. I am joined with my co-host and owner of Celestia Radio, DJ Shamrock.
What's up, every pony?
And we're getting right back into the action here, so without further ado, it's the top of the hour. We are now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are ready to deliver the weather and news portions of Canterlot Cross-Fade. Of course, this is the premiere of the show. We're at a steady number of listeners so far, but we'd love to get some more people in here. And you can make that happen, so kind of get the word out. You can retweet us on Twitter at Celestia Radio. We've got show news there, and just kind of spread the word to your friends via word of mouth. So, with that, we're going to go ahead, start the weather here. Shamrock, I believe you have the forecast for none other than Her Majesty's City itself.
That's right. We're going to be taking a look at the weather here in Canterlot. Another beautiful day here in the capital city of Canterlot as Celestia's sun beams down upon our well-groomed regal domains. It'll be sunny throughout the week with temperatures as high as 85 degrees Fahrenheit and as low as 70 degrees. Also be on the lookout for high amounts of wind as Prince Blueblood gives his speech to the working class this Wednesday. Overall, it's going to be a beautiful week, so feel free to take the fillies out to the park or whatever you bureaucrats do for fun. Back to you, KB.
Well, thank you for that, Shamrock. Coming up next, we're going to be listening to the weather report for the city of Philadelphia. Contrary to our popular belief, it is not always sunny in this city. The city is expected to experience heavy overcast for the rest of the week, with temperatures dropping down to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. There's also a fairly high chance of Paris Brights later in the week, so make sure that you keep that marching band on full alert, folks. Today, however, the skies are looking pretty clear, so feel free to eat your Philly cheesesteaks outside. And just kidding, who in their right mind would want to eat a Philly, right? Back to you, Shamrock.
All right, and that's it for the weather portion. I believe we are getting into the news show next.
That is indeed correct. So without further ado, we're going to roll the clip. Get to the news. Well, to get us started here, what does appear as the IDW Comic Company is now expanding their horizons to match the Equestria Girls brand. With the outcoming of the Equestria Girls movie, it would appear that the comic book franchise is looking to expand their horizons and keep the Equestria Girls campaign rolling with funds. I don't know if it's going to be the Andy Price and the other individual, I forgot, the Cindy, I think, something like that. I'm not sure if they're going to be the main people on this branch, but I have no clue. That's basically all I got. Up next to you, Shamrock.
That's right. We've got the Derpy foil card coming from Interplay. That's right. People have been waiting for this one for quite some time now. They're coming out with that now. I can't remember if they've released it already or they're in the process of releasing it now.
I believe it's another con special.
Another con special, and that's coming up for...
I would have to guess it. Maybe Fiesta Equestria or something.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Fiesta Equestria.
Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Equestria Girls is now available for pre-order on the website Toys, www.toywiz. I believe they're ranging from $16 at the pre-order to $25 when they go on sale. So if you were so inclined, pick up your Equestria Girl today.
That's right, and of course, more and more merchandise coming out from Hasbro now. We've got even more information on Pony Monopoly, in fact, that everybody's been thinking about for so long and talking about. That, more information on it, you can check out Equestria Daily, I believe, has some info on that, and some of the other links there. We'll get some links into the chat later on about some of these other products as well.
Recently posted by, I believe it was Megan McCarthy on her Twitter, we have upcoming news of a Rarity Spike episode to come up in Season 4 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, with one or more classic 90s pulp culture references. Of course, this is all... it's not speculation because this came from her mouth, right from the source, but it's basically speculation as to what that pop culture reference could be. They said it's early 90s. I mean, that's really all we can go off of right now, but of course it's great. We get to hear that there's Rarity Spike pairing coming up, and anything 90s, of course. That resonates with a lot of folks that are in the Brony fandom, so I'm sure that will go over nicely.
Absolutely. And for people that were listening in on Celestia Radio or any of the general news stuff, Callisti was underway. That's Callisti number 3 with Bronies for Good, as well, partnered with Celestia Radio. We were covering that yesterday starting at noon. I went until today. There were some reports on the money raised. They were just under, I believe, 2,000 euros. It's a little under half of, I believe, what they raised before, but they had a good time, and all the interviews are great, and those interviews are up actually on the Celestia Radio YouTube. Check them out. There's a bunch of really cool ones, and yet another one, of course, with M.A. Larson that we did. I think it's our third one up there. Check it out. Celestia Radio channel on YouTube.
That's right, we got all those interviews up. Make sure you check them out. We'll have one more that was kind of a straggler coming up tomorrow with the French voice actress of Rarity, hopefully. Of course, you may have noticed that recently a keen eye noticed that the application for trademarks to be made for Rainbow Rocks and Rainboom, trademark applications have been sent out from who I could only presume is Hasbro for those two things. It's equally interesting. Rainbow Rocks, that could be a lot of things: candy, merchandise, some sort of thing that they're on. And Rainboom, equally an infinite number of reasons there why they could have chosen to trademark those. We'll just have to wait and find out, Shamrock.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm totally excited for that idea. Anything it could...
anything Rainbow Dash related there.
Waiting is Magic, the video game, is releasing on iOS. That's right, if you go to your Apple iStore on your devices, you can check out Waiting is Magic video game. I don't know anything about it, but it sure sounds interesting. I just got my own Android the other day and got that little game that they had on there, the game on game, so I'm playing through that, a little bit old on that.
Waiting is Magic is a very simple game. It's just bouncing a ball. It takes place from the Daring Do Rainbow Dash episode where she's bouncing the ball in the hospital. So pretty straightforward, cut and dry game for iOS devices there. Another bit of news coming over from the Hub. This is official. And of course, the Hub is definitely a different beast than Hasbro. It's more fun, in my opinion, supporting the Hub. And they are starting their new campaign of Sing-Along Saturdays, where they're doing songs that showcase kind of musical-esque, aspects of the show, such as My Little Pony. Daniel Ingram, of course, composes a lot of songs. They are starting to try to get a bandwagon of karaoke versions of those episodes airing on Saturdays to kind of kill the off time in between the off season. In between Season 3 and Season 4 here. They're going to be airing Winter Wrap-Up and Secret of My Excess, I believe, this Saturday. So this upcoming next Saturday. I believe they started yesterday. So if singing is your thing and you like karaoke, give it a whirl.
Well, I like singing and karaoke. I'll have to give it a whirl. Another thing that came out as well was BronyCon announced Amy Keating-Rogers as one of their guests of honor at BronyCon this year in Baltimore. That's setting up to be a pretty good convention. Of course, the Pony Free Press will be there, and Celestia Radio will be there with an army. We have 15 people confirmed for media passes at BronyCon, so you'll see us in full force there if you're coming in early August.
Unfortunately, I won't be there, but Midwest after all.
Yeah.
Alrighty then, let's see what we've got. We've got more news still, even more. There's always more. Let's see. Equestria Girls is now headed to Australia. It will be there on the 24th of August, so it's by no means quick, but all you Aussies down there under, you can expect to check out Equestria Girls soon enough, by the end of the summer.
That's right, and for other people interested in all things Brony documentary as well as all things Canterlot Gardens, there was a sneak peek revealed of the new Brony documentary that is about Canterlot Gardens. You should check that out as well.
Interesting. Lots of different documentaries coming out. There's also Saber Sparks, so that's going to be interesting as well to kind of get a view as to what the fandom can break out as far as different, as far as that's concerned. Let's see what we else here. Equestria Girls is receiving surprisingly decent reviews, about 4 out of 5 on Rotten Tomatoes. A couple other critics are kind of giving neutral reviews, so just kind of look forward to that.
We've also got, by looks of polling online, everyone has been kind of going out and trying to pirate Equestria Girls. It seems to be the case because there were so few locations that they actually put it in theaters for, and a lot of people were saying I would have to drive like 8 hours to go and try and see the show. So I think there's a large amount of the demographic that's a little upset about that.
Probably so. But, I mean, butthurt will be butthurt.
Exactly.
That's what you can do. Octavia Funrise plushie has appeared. Of course, that's not the nice fourth dimension ones that we were talking about earlier, but these are pretty stout quality nevertheless, so you can pick those up on the Funrise website. I'm not sure. I think they were around $16 to $25 in that range, so you can find those there.
Yeah. As well, it looks like there is a way to determine the blind bags that you're looking at. They actually changed a little bit. We saw this in Hot Topic yesterday. They've changed the number codes around, but what you can do is, so that cheat sheet won't work, but on the backs of the blind bags, it will actually say, near the barcode or whatever, it'll have like a special letter or a couple of letters in sequence. And if you look on the side that shows what ponies there are in the blind bags, that will cross-reference to the one that's listed under that pony. So you can actually just look on the little blind bags and figure out which one you're going to get right there.
Sorry, I was distracted there for a moment. Of course, radio, it does that to you. This is kind of a random one, but apparently a giant horse painted like Rainbow Dash has appeared by the work of some clever teenagers in the wonderful country of Russia. So if you have any Russians tuned in at the moment, we typically do. Props to you. Give a pat on your back to your Russian cousins over there. It takes a lot of balls to paint a giant horse like Rainbow Dash, and you did it, so yay for Russia.
Amen. And as well, a new creepy, brushable, clear, glittery Pinky toy has been released by Target. What were they thinking? I just don't know.
And to wrap things up here, Twinkies are coming back. That is news on Canterlot Cross-Fade. Booyah! We've got it all in there. 10 minutes on the spot. Of course, that's the first time we've done that in ever, so nice to see that it all went well. So, I mean, you don't even really need the news sites anymore. It's all right here.
Exactly. We've got all your news for the week covered in 10 minutes right here on Canterlot Cross-Fade.
So with that, I believe Shamrock and I are going to hop off here for a moment. Of course, we're going to snap back quickly into another commercial break for a moment, and then listen to another musical showcase. It's a newer one. It's off Rainbow and Rooted. I've played it a few times on EVS back a few weeks prior when it first came out, so we're going to go ahead and listen to it again. Hope you all enjoy it. Of course, you were tuned into none other than Canterlot Cross-Fade here on Celestia Radio, all pony, all the time.
Want to deliver mail fast and safe? Try the Derpy Hooves Postal Service. Derpy personally handles each piece of mail like a child and will deliver it immediately. Unlike the Equestrian Postal Service, Derpy delivers mail every day of the week. Every pony loves Derpy's postal service. Just listen to these testimonials.
I don't know how, but my mail got to where it needed to go. And I got a muffin.
Derpy doesn't seem like the brightest pony in Equestria, but she is fast, and she gives us all muffins, which is cool too.
Well, the eyes are a very noticeable feature of Derpy, but she is extremely fast. My mail got to Canterlot from Ponyville in one day, and I got a muffin. What is it with that pony and muffins?
So instead of using Equestrian Postal Service, try Derpy Hooves, where your mail matters.
Break it down, DJ Pone 3. It's Celestia Radio.
All right, fillies and gentle colts. But that's weird, so we're going to go ahead and say, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to Canterlot Cross-Fade, where censorship can go FCC itself. Here on Celestia Radio, I am joined with my co-host, DJ Shamrock.
Yep.
How's the beard coming?
The beard is coming well. I tell you what, people can go over to my little Imgur album and check out the beard growth. We are at, thanks for reminding me, actually, it's Sunday night, so I need to update a new pick tonight. We're starting week 18 this next week. So
18 weeks since LPU, man.
Yep. Technically 17.
Technically,
but
17.
It's one of those weird, like it's like birthdays kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like how your first birthday is a total load of shit because that's your second birthday.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Exactly, sweet. Nailed it.
But yeah, so it's filling out, and for all of you that are coming down to Fiesta Equestria next week, you'll be able to see it in all its glory.
Unfortunately, that is not I, but Midwest. I've mentioned that a few times, so.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited.
In case you're not familiar with Midwest, that's a kind of a convention. It is a convention, but it's a smaller fan convention that takes place in Kansas City. It's put on by basically the Kansas Bronies. Props to them. And that's kind of Shamrock's scene, Shamrock and QCOM, a.k.a. DJ Squirrel.
And I tell you what, I mean, I was not expecting much of the Equestria Girls showing yesterday at the Legends Theater, and we sold out the theater. So
bravo.
I was very surprised. And it's not a small theater. It's kind of a big deal. It's right in the middle of Kansas City. So yeah, we filled it with probably 80-90% bronies, and the rest of them were horrified.
Oh,
so now we were not.
Were there any children?
There were actually. There were quite a few children. A lot of them were. A lot of them I would call quote unquote brony children. So basically, little girls that were in and out of Hot Topic, and their parent. There were actually a couple parents there that were pony fans. You
always see those at conventions too. The folks that.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. If you're not spaghetti with it, it's cool.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
seeing it. The family thing where it's
there was a woman there that what was it? I ran into at Hot Topic, and she was one of the mothers that was there. She had an Applejack shirt on. I can't remember what it said, but we were in the Hot Topic, and I can't remember what the hell we were talking about, but something about Applejack, and I don't think I said worst pony, but I said something that was negative, and she got a little flippant with me for a second, and I was like, hey, I'm a Rainbow Dash person. They're both voiced by the same gal, so technically we have crossroads there at one place. So,
well, that's all right, because Apple Cider got chewed up a little bit by Andrea Libman yesterday about Equestria Girls. It was pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah,
What happened?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm thinking about going and seeing it. And then she starts describing it. She's like, you can't Apple Cider. You can't let anyone let you think that, man. You just have to go out and achieve. And AC is like, oh, okay, got it, Andrea, thank you. And then they kind of start talking about the animation deeper and all that stuff. And he's like, you know what, Andrea? And this is just AC using AC's vocabulary, like he talks on the air.
Yeah.
We're used to it. He goes, when I get a chance, I'll sneak over to I'll sneak over to the movie theater and go watch it with a couple friends. And she goes, like, I quote Andrea, "There's no need to sneak, Apple Cider. That you don't need to be ashamed of seeing this movie. It's a piece of, it's just like, oh, poor AC. I know he didn't even mean, sneak as in fucking, I don't want anyone to see me. He's just using that as his vocabulary for walking. But yeah, she got a little bit snippet with him, and it was rather entertaining, but it was in good fun for the most part. You can listen to the interview yourself and make your own conclusion.
That's amazing.
Also, yes, no colors in the IRC other than Shamrock, who can have green.
I have green, bitch. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on the IRC really quickly. I'm just making sure no one else was trying to add me on Skype.
We will note that we are now getting ready for the call-in portion of Canterlot Cross-Fade, where we want to get your opinions on the topic of the day. Which, of course, I'll give a quick recap while Shamrock kind of lines out the list of call-ins we have set up here. But basically, it was Hasbro's one-year plan to kind of expand the My Little Pony franchise and merchandise line. We talked about the new Equestria Girls toy line that you can now pre-order. They're appearing on Fashion Angels along the likes of such brands as Hot Wheels and Barbie. There's Oragel, so you can squirt pink goo in your face. That's number 2 goo in all of the fandom, so be stoked on that, number 2 goo. We have cheap plushies, as always, that you can buy online, and the more high, expensive quality plushies coming soon on the Fourth Dimension website. And, of course, there was other things that we had in our news bit, such as the Monopoly is coming out, all sorts of different Equestria Girl things, the expansion of the comic book series, all sorts of things that we can talk about. And or if you just want to talk about the corporation in general, or your thoughts on what they're doing with the merchandise and the fandom, and whether they're doing good or bad, you can go ahead and give us your 2 cents by calling into the stream. You can do that by adding DJ Shamrock's Skype if you want to go ahead and tell them how to do it, Shamrock.
That's right. All you got to do, get on your Skype, click on Add Contact. It actually took me a second to find it. Although I don't have the newest version of Skype. You click on that Add Contact. My name is Andrew_Abdil_McLeod, and I will spell that out for you. ANDREW_A, B as in boy, D as in dog, IEL_McLeod. That is MCCLOUD. I spelled it out in the chat. I will do it again. And worst case scenario, if you, for some reason, lack the mental capacity to figure that one out, you can give me your Skype name, and I will add you to my Skype. And then I will throw you in the queue for call-ins. But we do have a few people lined up for call-ins. Oh, let me just get on here. I believe we have Bright Page as our first one for the call-in. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on to add him. Oh, so that's a fair warning to folks that we are starting the call-ins, and if you are on my list, that means you need to be ready to...
Get your body ready, bitch.
Answer this call. So, without further ado, we're going to try and drag him on here. I don't know why Adam TM is on here. Going to hang up on him. Don't know why I tried to add him to the call. Going to go ahead and remove him from the call. Don't know how to do that. Also, Bright Page isn't answering. You dick.
Bright Page!
Remove person from this. There we go. Okay. Bright Page, answer your fucking phone, bitch.
Take 2. Canterlot
Take
Cross-Fade.
2. Call him Bright. There he is.
Bright Page. God damn it.
Bright Page, you nigga.
All right. Oh.
Get in.
Oh. Take 3. 3rd time's the charm. You got this.
Hello?
There he is.
There he is. Bright Page.
Oh, he left again.
Fucking
I have a
Bright
feeling
Page.
this is an internet issue, unless he is being a mysterious dick. For no reason.
Bright Page, the illustrious, mysterious dick.
Bright Page, what are you doing?
Do you even lift? All right, let's add someone else in the time being. We'll come back to Bright Page.
We'll come back to Bright Page. Let me remove that person
before
from
Bright
the group.
Page is
Okay.
pissed.
I'll throw him in. I'll throw him in later. Okay. Up for our next person I've got on the queue, which would be Sile, is how you pronounce that name for other people that did not know how you pronounce that name. I actually didn't know how to pronounce the name, and he wasn't sure either at first.
Silly.
So, but we remedied this situation, fair enough. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. Scroll down, Sile, we're calling you now. Da, 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 da.
Hello, Sile.
Hi, is it working?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god,
Ooh.
his shit isn't fucked.
Oh my
It's
god.
incredible. He even has a picture. This
Holy
is
shit.
really incredible.
I don't even.
Well,
How is
great
it
to have
possible?
you on air. Sile, how you doing?
Feeling a bit cruddy, but everything's good for the most part.
Well, sorry to hear about the crudiness part, but hopefully you've been enjoying the premiere so far. Have you been tuned in for most of it?
Yes.
Good to hear. What are your thoughts on the show thus far?
I have no idea.
That means it's working. You're just going with the flow. Shamrock and I we understand this. But of course, back on to the topic that we've been kind of, I guess we've decided to discuss is as we said, Hasbro's kind of merchandise plan. So, I don't know. We've added you here. What do you got to say on the matter?
So long as the toys aren't completely horrible, everything's okay.
Are you looking forward to any merchandise in particular, or do you? First of all, do you buy any pony merch at all?
Not normally. I normally don't have enough money to.
Well, fair enough. If you did have said money, what would be some of the things that you would go out and get from Hasbro, whether through Walmart or Toys R Us or what have you?
Probably some of the blind bag ponies.
Blind bags? They did.
Yeah.
They did recently redo their style of the blind bags.
You can buy a whole entire box of them for $80. Great
Wow.
deal, right?
What a square deal. And you can cheat the system too, and they're hardly blind bags anymore. To be honest, it's more like, can you do basic arithmetic bags to find out the pony? But I don't know where I don't know what they were thinking with that. When they were like, oh, surely people won't find this out. Surely there isn't some large, expansive connection of tubes that allows people to communicate with one another.
I don't think the Transformer fandom was that intuitive.
Maybe not. Maybe not. So tell me, Sal, do you have a favorite pony?
Luna. Probably.
Okay, fair enough. Do you have a favorite main 6 pony?
Twilight.
Okay.
All right, good answer. Good answer.
Now you're speaking the language. I accept most answers. I accept most answers for people's opinions of best pony, of course. I will always give bonus points to people who choose Rainbow Dash, but or rather, she chooses them. Yeah, there's a few exceptions to that list, but Twilight is a good answer. So, would you get if you had $25 to spare, would you throw down on that? I don't know if you saw the pictures of the Toy Wiz plushes or not.
The plushies are the EQG things.
The actual plushies from or not fucking Toy Wiz. I'm stupid. The ones from 40E.
Yeah, probably. Seems like a good price for good quality thing.
Did you get a look at those?
A bit.
Yep. Yeah, they are pretty interesting. I'm kind of excited for them to start coming out. Of course, I'm looking more forward to the Rainbow Dash one.
Whenever that happens.
Whenever that happens.
Knowing that Shamrock wants it, it's going to take as long as physically possible to happen.
It's true. It's true. I never get anything.
You can't always get what you want. All right. Let's see. Any thoughts on the number 2 toothpaste in the Phantom?
No, I
Would
have
you
no
go
idea
out
what
and
the heck
buy
is
Pinkie Pie
going on about
toothpaste?
that.
That's a good question. Would you use Pinkie Pie toothpaste? Would you feel at all awkward or put in a position of, I don't know, what's the situation that one might feel while brushing their teeth with pink goo that's come out of a tube with Pinkie Pie's face on it? I'd be a bewilderment. Is that a word that works?
Bewilderment.
This kind of estrangement.
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled. Ah, my teeth. I can just keep swallowing this because there's no fluoride in it. It tastes like rainbows. If I
It's
pretend
like
hard
straight
enough, maybe
cocaine.
this is what it's like to eat out Pinkie Pie. What?
It's Pinkie Pie substance.
Oh Lord. Just be dazzling my teeth with Pinkie Pie substance. kind of a fucking marketed idea is this? Seriously?
One that will take you to the number 2 spot, apparently.
I guess. Seriously, I think how they got that. I think it's laced with cocaine.
It might
Honestly,
be.
I legitimately think it's laced with cocaine.
I'm pissed. I'm gonna look up what number 1 is. Any guesses on what number 1 might be?
I don't. My only guess would be that the only better cocaine you could get than Hasbro would be that fucking that one Mexican girl, Dora the Explorer. I think she's the one. She's dealing in
toothpaste.
She's dealing in the Colombian, I think.
Fucking Tijuana toothpaste. Let's see. Discovery Health. What if my child eats fluoride toothpaste? Call 911 and cry loudly.
What if my child eats fluoride toothpaste and you aren't worried about the water they're drinking every day?
Children.
What happened to my child? A toothpaste which happened to have cocaine in it.
Oh Lord. I can see the headlines now.
Well, Your Face on Colgate toothpaste apparently. Oh my God, it's Barbie and Spider-Man. Cavity protection.
That bitch.
That fucking bitch. She's
tell you
taking
what.
over. It's just as equally pink and just as equally gooey, except this time it's coming out of Barbie.
That is the caption phrase of the show, right, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna put that up on next week's episode. Holy shit! I think with that we're done with that topic right now. I don't want to hear that sentence ever again. Let's see. Without let me where is it? Yeah, I think without further.
I just got 6 emails.
Oh my God!
Shit!
Phase win.
What is this?
Without further ado, Sile, thanks for coming on with us. We're gonna move on to the next caller. Is there anything really quickly you want to say to the bronies listening out there before we let you go?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that in mind, see you later. And let's see. We're going to move over. Did Bright Page ever say anything in the chat about what the fuck? How do I? Fucking Skype, he says. Here. KB, what did he say? Did he say something?
He didn't say anything to me. Bright Page, are you alive? Sir.
Here, read in the IRC real quick. I'm going to add our next call-in person. We're going to welcome next to the program Shadow Warp. I don't know what their name is on IRC, unless it is also Shadow Warp on IRC. In that case, I apologize. We're going to be adding them to the call in very soon. In 3, 2.
Hey there, guys.
Hey there, Shadow Warp. What's going on, man?
Nothing, pretty much. Just listening to you guys, actually.
Fantastic. Have you been listening for the whole show?
Yeah, actually, ever since I got up at, 2, because I like to take epic long naps.
Fantastic. I like epic long naps. I work overnight, so it's like...
Shamrock here is the king of really long naps. And I just turned my microphone down on me for some reason, but the reason Shamrock here loves his long naps is Shamrock here has the best working hours of any individual that I know. He works, and quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., right?
That's correct.
Yes.
5 days a
Shamrock,
week.
your hours are shit.
Well, I work to try and make sure that for those people that are on the Sprint network, I try and make sure that you have good coverage. So, the network doesn't sleep, and neither do I. So
That's a clever one there, Mr. Shamrock.
There you go. So what do you think of the show so far, Shadow?
It actually is really good. It actually really exceeded my expectations a lot.
Fantastic. I'd like to hear that. Are you going to shout it on the mountaintops?
That's if I live near any mountains. I'll probably just go up on my roof and say, "Go watch this show that I forgot the name of because I'm an idiot."
I can handle the mountain yelling, so don't worry about that.
There you go. KB lives in the mountains. He's a mountain man.
I'm a mountain man.
Unfuck mountain man.
Mm-hmm.
You live in you must live in the Himalayas then.
I live in central Colorado. It's the one part that's not on fire at the moment, which is just fantastic.
Fire is bad.
It's
bad.
terrible. It's burnt 70,000 acres at the moment. This one particular one.
Goodness.
And it's been
It's
around
horrible.
for like 4 days, so that's kind of shitty. But Colorado, we're the new California. That should be our new motto.
That's an awful motto to have.
I know, right? And I'm not
the new
proud of it
California.
either.
Fuck that. I'm getting so many pings.
Bring your drugs and light them up here. Oh.
Lol. So, I'm going to take a wild guess at my head, judging by your avatar. But who's your favorite pony?
Luna.
There you go.
We've had two Lunas in a row on the Celestia Radio.
Two in a row, man. I think that's a record on the show. Probably not. Well, technically it is a record on this show because it's the first time. But yeah, we'll get to that later. What about main 6?
Main 6 is Fluttershy.
Okay, I will also accept that answer. Let's see.
Because who doesn't love Fluttershy?
Exactly. So, do you have any thoughts on the topic for today? Sort of where Hasbro is going? Anything about Equestria Girls? Random toothpaste facts?
Well, I did see Equestria Girls yesterday. It actually is my second time seeing because my friend kind of dragged me into seeing it again because I've already seen it once. I saw it 2 weeks ago. I saw it on its first day premiere. Mm-hmm. But my friend's birthday is today, and I wanted to go see it with him yesterday, so it was kind of like a nice birthday present for him. But as for the toys-wise, I'm not going to really get the Equestria Girls toys because it doesn't really have the same feel to me, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I understand you on that one.
This is wrong. This is wrong.
That's wrong.
I mean, because everyone is saying that, that Hasbro is trying to cash in on the Monster High series, which doesn't really make sense because they don't have their own TV show and they don't really have their own cult following.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The only thing they got going on is sharing ad space with Hot Wheels and Barbie on Fashion Girls.
Oh, and also, I think I typed to DJK that there actually is going to be releasing on Toy Wiz a My Little Pony Monopoly set.
Yes, you did send that to me, and I don't think we saw the one that of course Hasbro's got to give it the okay. I'm not sure. I guess is Hasbro the company that produces Monopoly? I mean, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
there's no way they'd let that fly with Mattel if they made Monopoly.
Yeah,
I just couldn't see that happening.
No. Yeah. Let's see. I think we're actually getting a few more requests in on here. Well, it was good having you on. Is there anything in particular, real quick, you want to say to everybody, or?
Yeah. There is one thing that I would like to actually say, and that is, Luna is best princess.
Oh, get him off! Get him off! Can't stop me!
Oh, you New Lunar Republicans! I can't even. All of my whole body. And Boyd actually typed to me. He's like, "Hey, if you want to increase your record of Luna's people calling in, call me next."
Oh God!
Fucking infested with them everywhere.
Lunar fags everywhere.
Lunar fags everywhere. Let's see. So we do have another one to add in here. I believe. Well, this person in particular has not accepted my request. Mad Mulk, you'll want to accept my friend request there on Skype if you want to get in on here in the last few minutes. I did have another person. It looked like an Ian Rockefeller. Not sure who they are in IRC. I'm just going to send them a quick message so that they know that they're next. What's going on in RC right now? I'm just getting pinged out the ass.
I don't know. When I did that pretend cans.wave, my ashtray fucking YOLO'd it all over my desk, so I'm working on that at the moment.
Okay, that's awesome. Let me just look over here.
Okay, that's done. IRC land.
IRC land, man. It's all over the place. You read that. And I will go ahead and throw in this Ian Rockefeller fellow.
Ian Rockefeller.
Bringing them in. Well, let me get my
My face from Plowsock shows up.
Randomly Plowsocks out of nowhere.
He'd be so pissed if we added him to this chat right now.
He probably would be. Let's do it.
I don't think he's ever been on air before.
Oh, he has been a few times.
Good.
Just for the big event stuff usually. Oh shit. Okay, no, here we go. 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 Here we go.
Here we go. Are we going?
Okay. Here we go. All right.
Ian
Good for it.
Rockefeller.
Hey.
Hey, there he is.
How you doing, Ian?
What is your IRC name, just so I have a cross-reference?
I've got everything echoing. What?
I said, what's your IRC name, so I have a cross-reference?
DJ Pony.
Oh, okay, right. DJ Pony, all right. I would have never guessed from your avatar. So, have you been listening to the program this evening?
For about an hour.
About an hour. All right, fair enough. What are your thoughts on the program so far?
Pretty cool.
Good. I like to hear that. And let's see. I'm trying to think of some other things. Do you have any particular opinions on any of the topics at hand? I don't know how much of the early news topic you heard about us talking about Hasbro.
I went to the movie today. I mean, that's all I could really contribute to.
Okay. Well, what were your thoughts on it, and was it good enough to inspire you to ever want to buy anything Equestria Girl related?
Probably. Everybody's gonna probably hate on me for that, but yeah, I really like the movie, and probably because I'm hardcore about the whole everything with My Little Pony.
Hardcore.
Hey, I mean, I saw it yesterday too, and I thought it was pretty great.
That's been the general consensus. It's better than what people have been expecting.
A lot better than what I mean. I don't want to make this Equestria Girls discussion because I know we'll have an episode about that later. But just as a real quick, I mean, music was great, animation was good. There's the one little factor of, oh my god, humans just look terrible in general to us. But yeah, there was, as far as the plot's concerned, it was not at all what people were expecting. So I thought it was good. Now, would I ever buy the doll? I don't know. I would rather spend money on ponies first, I guess, would be my take on it.
So, did you wait till the very end of the credits?
I did.
Ditsy Doo was actually there. Yeah.
I did see Derpy there at the very end, which is a thing if people want to stay. It was actually funny because QCOM was sitting there next to me in the theater. He was like, oh, we got to stay till the end, and I was like, oh, they've got another like an extended scene or something at the end, and so I'm like yelling, I'm like, everybody stay the fuck in the theater. We've got another, we got a thing coming up at the end or whatever. And like 50% of the people left like right after I said that, and I was like, okay. And then where it was playing, and everybody was like, oh my god, look, there's Derpy, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then Q-Com's like, all right, let's leave, and I was like, you mean that was it? And he was like, yeah. I was like, you dick. I thought it was like a whole nother scene.
Getting everyone all riled up for Derpy.
Pretty much.
Derpy's just a riler-upper.
But she was in the movie in another scene.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were paying attention, she was there. So, yeah, I don't know. So who is your favorite pony? I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's Vinyl Scratch.
Yeah, Vinyl Scratch is pretty cool. Out of the main 6, people are gonna hate me for this too. Rarity probably, just because of her trait Generosity.
Okay, fair enough. I don't think I could really hate on that.
Hate on anyone for any main 6.
Yeah,
I think
maybe if you said Applejack, we would have had a problem, but Rarity's okay. So, it's all good.
Well, let's see. We've got a few more minutes here. I guess we should try and cram in as many individuals in this last little span as we can.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that you would like to say before we drop you off here?
You never asked favorite pet. I would go with Gummy.
Okay.
We'll keep that question in mind. We'll do that in the future. Favorite pet.
Favorite pet. I'll have to remember that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on the show. I hope you continue to listen on the other future shows as well.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, I know we've got some other people. Okay, there we go. Finally got Mad Mulk added in here. So you are next, by the way, if you can hear me. Dee. If there's anybody else I think this probably will be our last call-in,
We
to
should
be
try
honest.
to get Bright Page in.
You what?
We should try to squeeze Bright Page in for a second.
Yeah, if we can. I'll just get Mad Milk in here real
But always,
quick.
Bright Page, you'll be here a lot. We know you will be.
Hello.
Heyo.
Hi.
Howdy.
This is Mad Milk 9 from...
Yes. Yes.
And, so what have you... you've been listening to the show this evening?
Yes. I was also playing League of Legends with one of my friends while I was doing that.
Very nice, very nice. Glad to have our fellow gamers listening in on Celestia Radio as they play. It's one of the benefits of being in the radio format. What were your thoughts on the show so far? If you were trying to down.
To be honest, I have not watched the entire show. Rage if you want. But I am very into the fandom.
Well,
I'm up to date.
That's
good. Well, an up-to-date individual is going to very much enjoy a news-related program such as this one. No raging will be had. I know it's our premiere, so it's going to be the case where some people don't get in until the second or third week or so. But glad to know that you're listening. And any thoughts on the topics at hand tonight so far?
Well, I'm not going to see Equestria Girls until it comes out on Netflix. Because, honestly, I'm embarrassed about it. And toothpaste, not going to buy it. I can't necessarily think of anything else.
Okay, fair enough. So we might as well go with the topic of favorite pony. I cannot deduce from your avatar because it's an Assassin's Creed character. So, who is your favorite pony?
Well, honestly, I've got to say it's a tie between Luna and Rainbow Dash.
Okay.
That works. That's good.
That's our
good for Shamrock.
streak still pretty much as far as Luna's concerned. We've had 3 Lunas on, and our first Rainbow Dash of the night, aside from myself, obviously. So fair play. Good to have a fellow Rainbow Dasher here on the show. And is there anything in particular that you would like to say to the audience at large before we move on here?
No, I can think of a moment.
Okay. Well, we hope to have you in on future shows listening as well. As always, we'll be on every Sunday night at 6 Central. So thanks for joining us here on the show. That was Mad Milk 9. And we're going to see if we can get Bright Page on here for a quick minute, maybe. Trying to add him in. Hopefully, if he's fixed his internet shit. If not,
one
we will.
chance, Bright Page.
You have one.
chance.
You have this one chance, Bright Page.
You're doing great. Don't fuck it up.
I'm warning you loudly with my voice before I add you to the call. So here's your warning. We'll see what happens.
Hello?
Hello.
Bright Page.
Hi.
Is it? Are we stable?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Is there any like echo or something? Because I'm plugged up to the speakers here next to me.
You sound fine.
Yeah, you're coming through fine for us right now.
All right, good.
All right, well, Bright Page, I mean, we know you, man. You've been around the block a few times. So tell us, favorite pony real quick, and also your thoughts on the Hasbro merchandise bracket.
Favorite pony, I'd have to go with maybe Twilight.
Booyah.
I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Or you could just, really, I'd just go with your definition of favorite pony. I mean, best pony.
Oh, yes, they're all fantastic. Go bitch
Yeah.
about it elsewhere. Yeah. It is still there. Good. 7 months.
And worst pony.
And worst pony. Thank you for that, Scoobly Hopkins. All right, and Hasbro merch. Thoughts on that?
The Equestria Girls dolls from 4D, I'd say ponies and Barbies had a baby. And that's what came out.
That's a good way to put it.
That's
basically it.
that implies a lot of really questionability as far as anatomy is concerned, but other than that...
I think we're delving into the realm of pink paste a little bit more than we want to. So, if you catch my drift, toothpaste.
Yeah, too much on the pink paste.
Oh my.
Oh my. All right. Well, anything quick you wanted to add in before we close out the program here tonight?
Well, I'm not really sure about that. I don't...
Is it as good or better than EVS? And are you still sad?
I'm still semi-sad, yes.
I'm sad too. It'll be a sad thing for a while. But hopefully this show... Good show. I like this so far. I feel like it'll be worth my while. And Shamrock, I'll make sure he comes. We'll keep this man in line.
Yeah. It'll... Yeah. I have a person to stab me a little bit. Be like, hey, let's fucking do shit.
That's 3 nights out of my week, you know, just for this one show.
Yep.
Every week.
It'll be worth it. I swear to God.
It better be.
It will be, bitch.
If the Sabbath wasn't intense enough. Coming this Sunday.
Sunday.
Canterlot Cross-Fade.
Oh, man. All right.
Background explosions. Great.
So many explosions. Well, good having you on, Bright Page, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday as well.
I'll probably be there. Hopefully.
You will be. All right. And that's it for call-ins tonight. I believe you've got one quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and wrap up the show if you've got that ready to go, KB.
Indeed I do. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're tuned into Canterlot Cross-Fade. We'll be right back.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Over-the-Top Brony Guy.
Mr. Over-the-Top Brony Guy.
You don't care that the show is designed for 5-year-old girls. You've watched every episode.
I love you, Fluttershy.
Your new neighbor just moved in from Soviet Russia. What would Pinkie Pie do?
Communist Party.
We're not whining about Master Link X's channel being taken down. We're complaining. This is whining.
Please make it stop.
So crack open a tall, cold one, Mr. Over-the-Top Brony Guy. Because without you, Rainbow Dash would still be a heterosexual.
Mr. Over-the-Top Brony Guy.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, don't it feel so energetic? Try Rainbow Dash, the energy drink for ponies with the gratuitous amounts of friendship. With all new flavors like Flutter Guy, Fluttershy Energy. It's like adding kindness to an electrical storm. Sound the alarm. You're going to be uncomfortably cheerful. What's that? You want Pinkie Pie? Well, how about Pinkie Die? With parties, real parties, friendship. You'll be good at it. It's an energy drink for ponies. Bonergy. These aren't your sister's ponies. These are Bonergy ponies. Turbo ponies. Caring energy. Rainbow Dash, Rainbow Crash, Rainbow Cupcakes. It has more rainbow than your body has record. You're like so fast, so she'll be like, slow down. And you'll be like, fuck you! And kick her in the face with your Bonergy legs. You'll have so much Bonergy. Bonergy! You'll be flying all the time. Flying friendly, caring, friendly sleeping, friendly shipping, friendly laughing, friendly spawning. Phillies! You'll have so many Phillies. 400 Phillies! Give Rainbow Dash to your Phillies, and they'll be good at friendship! Make your Phillies fly abnormally fast! They'll fly as fast as Griffins! Ponies will watch them and think they're Griffins! They'll race as fast as Griffins against actual Griffins! And then there'll be a time they'll be deported back to Griffinia! Hey! Go with the sure thing! Don't gamble on your Bonergy! Fluttershy stare! Buy Rainbow Dash! The Bonergy for friendship!
Stop clopping and turn it up. It's Celestial Radio.
Alrighty, folks, and that brings us to the conclusion of the first installment, the premiere of Canterlot Cross-Fade here on Celestia Radio. I am still joined with the co-host of CCF, DJ Shamrock.
That's right.
And it was a great show. I'd say it's quite a successful premiere, Sham.
I'd say so as well. You know, we had a good time with all the technical difficulties, 2 hours leading up to the show, as we always do. Seems like I have that every single time I have a show. I have 2 hours of troubleshooting and then 2 hours of show, and then it's like, okay, now we're done.
All right. Well, you know, this is normally the time we will say. And the funny, Bright Page is commenting, I wish I had a microphone as godlike as DJ K-Bronies. This isn't even my good microphone anymore. My other friend took my condenser one. So now I'm using my other one with Shamrock's thing that I stole that's currently being the spit guard on it. So thank you for that, DJ Shamrock. I love stealing shit from you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll steal some more shit when I come by in Kansas in a month, and maybe I'll give this back to you. We'll
I don't have too much shit here that's left to steal.
I'll get creative.
Fair enough.
We'd also normally tell you what next week's topic is, but then again, we can never normally tell you what next week's topic is going to be, because the Brony fandom is fickle, and it's ever fucking changing. So we don't know what next week could hold. Probably will be something... It's not going to probably be something interesting. It's most definitely probably maybe going to be something interesting, so I highly encourage you all to tune in.
That's right. You better tune in. It's definitely going to be something interesting. And I could say that next week we will be doing an interview as opposed to call-ins next week. We'll mix it up like that every once in a while. We will try and do mostly call-ins, but every once in a while we'll have an interview segment. So, so look forward to that. That's a surprise, though. Whether that's a surprise because I don't know who we're interviewing yet, or it's a surprise because it's a surprise, that is going to be for me to know and for you guys to find out next week, maybe. But without further ado, I have been DJ Shamrock here with DJ K-Brony on Canterlot Cross-Fade. That's right, every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 7 Eastern and midnight GMT time for you Europeaners. Last 2 hours. We hope you'll join us next time on Canterlot Cross-Fade, where censorship can go FCC itself.
This shit's divine. It's like the singing of fucking angels. Shouts out to Clever Pony. Shouts out to Pinkie Pie Swear for the beat. What up? Actually, I changed it a little bit. Yo, this joint's called, Pony Swag.
Did you enjoy the show? Want to catch even more batshit antics next week? Well, tune in next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another installment of Canterlot Cross-Fade with host DJ K-Brony and DJ Shamrock. Only here on Celestia Radio.